Welcome back to the another live session for the trading day of Tuesday, second day of trading week. And let's look at the market. This is the first session. We'll have another one later. But in this session, I was looking at gold early along with also the currency pairs. So currently gold started to see that very strong downtrend after yesterday's move back below. So in this live session, we will be looking at the potential trading opportunity in this market. If you look at on gold, you can see the price after this yesterday's daily close with a massive bearish candle. The market, as soon as open today, we have seen initial bounce back to the upside. Now, bigger picture, we look at the trend in this market, and once we see the trend in the market, based on the trend we will be looking for trading opportunity. I'm going to do a full multi-time frame analysis in this market, and then we will be looking at trading opportunity. Starting with the monthly price action on gold, we can see that from the monthly, this is monthly trend line. Gold, from the bigger picture perspective, is we have seen from this resistance line there is a sharp rejection on the monthly time frame. This is bigger picture from the monthly. It's a bull market, and now we can see the price slowly pushing down for a pullback. So where we can find potential entry, as this market currently trending aggressively, where we can find possible entry opportunity in this market. That's what we are looking at on gold today from the higher time frame and the lower time frame. This is an important live session, guys. Make sure you stick till the end, and also give a thumbs up before we begin, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Let's begin today's market analysis and the price action, where we can find potential trading opportunity in this market. So let's first look at gold. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see that there is a trend line here, which is important intraday resistance line on gold, and this is the 4-hour resistance that we can see on gold. And if we look at the lower time frame, we have seen that there was a strong breakdown from this long-term resistance line. If you look at from the daily, we can see that with the NFP, the market has made a significant breakout, followed by here there is quite a few sessions of longer consolidation. Now this consolidation, what we have seen, the market failed to create a higher high, instead completely rejected back below from this resistance line on gold. And with that rejection, we see that the market currently approaching back below here to this support level. Now looking at that perspective on gold, we can see that from the 4-hour time frame, if you look at this lower time frame here, we can see there is a series of lower high formation here on gold, and every time the market is maintaining that series of lower high. And with this series of lower high on gold, the price this session managed to completely break below this level. Now that breakdown that we can see is ultimately potentially a trend continuation, or we can see another bounce. That's what we are looking at. Now this intraday candle that you can see on the 4-hour chart, it's from this resistance, it has completely broken back below from this high. Any pullback to the upside in this market, any pullback to the resistance line, is where we will be looking for trading opportunity in this session. Let's look at to see how the market structure might be forming in this market. So looking at, first of all, see how the price is doing. Here is the lower time frame 5 minutes chart and the 1 hour. So if we look at the 1 hour price action here, we can see the price has moved back to that resistance line here, where there is a liquidity grab on the 1 hour 20 EMA, and in this 1 hour 20 EMA and 10 EMA, the price has crossed that to the upside and then grabbed that liquidity, rejected back below again from that level. This is a key level, and from that key level we can see the price has managed to break below. We see that there is a potential, there is a promise for possible downtrending move in this market. Let's look at the daily chart again. What do you see on the daily? Guys, this is very important to look at. From the daily, we have seen that there is a very long ATR daily candle has hit that daily support, where there is an important retest of this daily support. The market has made its move back to the daily low, and now what we could see that the price to potentially test this daily today's low, and with that retest, do you see the market coming back below and bouncing back to the upside? Because if you look at this overall market structure, we can see that yesterday there was a massive breakdown on the daily. If you look at here, this is the daily bearish candle, followed by today the market once open, we have seen initial bounce back to the upside. Now the question is, with that stronger bearish candle, the market to potentially break the daily fair value gap, or we will see another bounce. That's what we will be looking at today, as based on that question we will be able to find entry in this market. So as the price from the daily context, it's on the daily support, we might see the market to have another bounce. It is a downtrend, but we could see the price to retest again to the daily high, and 3354 is the daily high, and from the daily high either we could see the market to drop back again, and that's where our potential entry opportunity. Let's look at again the levels that we have drawn here on the lower time frame. This is today's low at 3342 level, and today's high is 3354 level, and 3354 is where we can look for potential sell entry, as the market has completely broken below. The chances for the price to move back to the upside after break of this daily low is very high, at least to a certain extent. Therefore it is a downtrend, but we can expect a short-term bullish trading opportunity. Let's mark down the two daily low. This is the today's daily low. This is where the market has come back and then bounced back to the upside. This is the previous daily low. Based on these two zone here, 3342 and 3341, this narrow area that you can see around 9 to 10 pip gap is where there is a possibility for a move back to the upside in this market. So that's what we're looking at for potential trading opportunity. And what I think that the price, if you look at the daily, as it has already made its initial bounce back to the upside here, break of this low can give us potential entry for short-term move in this market. Now this is a very important price action that we need to pay attention when you are trading, is to look for the daily low and daily high, because when you look at the daily low and the daily high, you can see how the market structure is forming over time. So looking at 1 hour again, from here the break below to this support level, and with this break below to this support, expecting the market to return back again to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Let's look at here from the daily. Again, looking at the market to retest and then to have an initial bounce back to the upside. And that's what we can look for, possible upside move here. If the market bounce here, showing a price action confirmation, we can look for at least 200 pip move back to the upside. Do you think that the market is going to bounce back to the upside? Welcome. What's your view on that? I'm going to start a poll here. Share your opinion. What do you think on gold today? So on upcoming CPI, that's what we are looking at as coming up today's CPI. If you look at CPI here, we can see that if we look at CPI in the market, this is where the price, if you look at the 10:30 p.m. core CPI and CPI, very important three price action, the news coming in this upcoming session, and CPI, core CPI and CPI. This news can, these are market mover, and we could see there is a significant move in the market in the upcoming session with this CPI. So that being said, if we look at the lower time frame here on the daily, as with the CPI, we could see a bigger move in the market. As if you look at the weekly here, we can see the price from this weekly resistance, there is a sharp breakdown, and that breakdown may bring the price well below this level to this support level. If you look at the monthly here, we can see that this is a bear market. Looking at daily here, also we can see that there is a sharp break below in this market. So looking at the 4-hour here, that we can see from this resistance, there is a significant drop back below. Now, once the market managed to drop below here, the chances for another retest of this daily high is very high today's price action. That being said, looking at the 5 minutes here, now if the market is going back up here again with this movement, that's where we can look for potential selling opportunity, as we see that this is currently downtrending market. How do you understand a market is either in a downtrend or in an uptrend? Understanding market structure will set you free, because once you understand the market structure, you can see how the market is evolving over time, because at the end of the day, every trader's goal is to trade with the trend. So if you know that how to trade with the trend, you can set your trading order in the direction of the trend. That's where the main goal for us as a trader is to trade with the trend. Now look at this market structure. If I look at the 5-minute chart, when you look at this chart in that area, when you focus that area, how do you see the market? It's a clean downtrending market structure starting from here, series of lower high. That's why maintaining that downtrend here. Any break above to cross that series of lower high is where potential trading opportunity. That's the secret. Always wait for the break of structure. Smart money trade based on trend. So you need to look for the trend to enter into the trade. Let's look at here, and looking at the 1 hour and the higher time frame and the lower time frame combining together. 1 hour price action, if you look at here, you can see the market tested this 20 EMA, tested the 10 EMA, and after test of this 10 and 20 EMA, the market from this level, if you look at here, you can see it moved back to the 20 EMA, and we could see the price to reject back below here, and there is a massive fair value gap. If the price reach that daily resistance at 3354 is where we will be able to find trading opportunity in this market. Let's look at for that entry here. For our price action, if we look at here, what we can see, the market has reached that level, maintaining that series of lower high every session, and with this series of lower high, the price potentially could go ahead, retest, and then continue to trend here back below to this level to create a new lower low in this market. I hope that guys are enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up, and let's see in the next session where we find our entry, as this market is on a, if you look at here, you can see it's a consolidation in this area, and with this consolidation there is a bounce followed by this support test, another bounce, another move. So the market is maintaining series of lower high in that area. With this series of lower high formation, expecting the price to retest and then to continue to trend back down here to this support level. We see that from this support there is a move back to the upside currently, which is considered as a pullback. If you look at how the market is respecting this 20 EMA, is quite important, as the market has respected this 20 EMA multiple times. Any bounce back to this 20 EMA could be an opportunity for us to go for sell in this market. That's what we're looking at in this market for a possible entry in the upcoming session. Let's wait to see. This is the move here, expecting it to move back here and then to reject back again to the direction of the trend. With this move followed by this consolidation here, pullback, and with this consolidation expecting the market to break below in this instrument. That's why we're looking to see how the price potentially creating a structure in this area. This is the previous support here as well on the lower time frame, that is turning into a higher time frame resistance, and that's where we can look for possible entry. As lower time frame, the market is trying to pull back here. Any break above, there is a fair value gap on the 5-minute chart as well. Any bounce back above can give us possible selling opportunity in this market. This is what we need to see here, that the market is moving up again to fill some of this daily long wick, which is an imbalance in the market. And once we see the market has managed to bounce here to the daily imbalance, we can look for that selling opportunity in this market to this support level. Waiting for this market to show us a possible entry, a possible zone where we can look for entry, as we want to enter in the most important and the effective area that we can trade this market. Can you please explain what is pullback? All right, cool. That's a very good question. What is pullback? Okay, so the pullback, let's understand the whole mechanism of the pullback impulse and how the market moves, which is the fundamental of understanding the market. Not the fundamental that is news, but the fundamental way how the market moves. Because to become a trader, either you are trading either on gold or currency, crypto, whatever you are trading, this is how the market moves. For the bigger picture perspective, you need to know the actual mechanism in the market. When you see that a market is trending, creating series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrend, if you look at A market has created an impulse correction. So when you see that a market is in a trend, right, that trend will never continue in one direction. At some point you'll see the market changes the trend, and the market will also never will change the trend in one single move. It's gonna move in a sideways fashion, and that sideways market is where the trading is, where we can look for to see that the market is potentially preparing for a reversal. And when you see that market is preparing for a reversal, you'll see that either it's moving a sideways, form a reversal pattern and break from that structure. Now, how does smart money trade in those market? If you look at this sideways market or head and shoulder, any kind of reversal pattern and break from that reversal, you would see the market to go ahead, retest that neckline of this support here, which is turning resistance, and from that neckline the price retest and potentially continue to back again. Now when the market break from that neckline, which is an order block, that's where the smart money sell this market. Now no one is going to sell all the time. There is a time when smart money placing the order, the market moves, and then there is a time to take profit, because when sellers are selling, they don't want to sell too low. And when the smart money is placing their volume here, the market started to drop, because the higher the volume, the bigger the drop in the market. When the price started to drop based on the smart money system, the market continue to drop, and when the market continue to drop, at some point the price become too low for them to sell, and then there is a profit taking. So the sellers, when taking the profit, basically they are placing the buy order in the market, because when you're closing the sell order is a buy order. Closing the sell order is a buy order, and the market goes for a pullback, and that pullback is called the retracement or the pullback in the market. And once you see the market in a pullback, it's time to sell again, and that is called trading. Understanding how the smart money trade, how the market moves, will give you much more freedom to trade based on the trend. Now if you look at here in those market, you can see that there is a break to the upside in this pullback, and at some point you could see the market to break even the previous swing high. That is called the liquidity grab, because for those who have sold this market, is where there is stop loss, and that is liquidity. Once the market grab the liquidity, smart money find volume in the market to move the market for a bigger drop, bigger directional move in this market. And if you look at here, that's where looking at in this market or any market for a potential trading opportunity. I hope that clarifies your question. Now, the most important part when you are trading is to understand where the price is in relation to the bigger picture, in relation to the trend in the market. So that being said, here you can see this is the move here on the market, and in this move there is a triangular pattern formation, break to the upside here, and with this break the price is on the upside, expecting to grab liquidity and then potentially to trend back again to the support level. How does the inflation will affect gold, sir? Inflation will have a bigger impact on gold because, very simple guys, what's your thought on that? It's important because when you see how the global economy is forming or shifting, based on that also the trading decision comes in play, right? If you look at the market and see in relation to the bigger picture, fundamental, how the market also technically moving, right? So every economic shifting also have a bigger impact on everything, including gold. How does the gold, in fact, changes its direction based on inflation or other fundamental factors? If you know that, your trading will become much more higher in probability, because you know that why the market is moving in the way it is moving, how the fundamental is affecting the price. Yeah, this is a very important question, because when you combine the fundamental aspect of what is happening in the economy or around the world, also you are combining with the how the market is moving, will give you a higher understanding. And you don't need to be an economist or have a bigger understanding of the economics. It's a very foundational understanding of the economy will give you an understanding of how the market moves. While we are waiting for this gold trade, let's understand that here. First of all, look at here what's happening from the 4-hour chart. The price is approaching this resistance line, 4-hour intraday resistance, which is the daily high. This is 30 minutes price action where the market is approaching that level, and that 30 minutes price action, if you look at here, you can see the price is going in that direction, and that direction that you can see here, we can look for the market to show that pattern. Now let's look at here on how inflation can affect the gold price or the fundamental of the gold price in the market, right? Because it's a very common phenomenon. Almost every economy, every country faces inflation. So first of all, understand why inflation happens, right? This is a very important question to ask. Gold is moving up potentially to the daily high, and that could be an important area that you can look at. Now, why does inflation happens? What is the reason behind this? What is inflation, in fact? Inflation is when, in a general term, if you want to experience inflation, that means the price of your goods and services rises. That's inflation, right? That means yesterday you bought something, anything, $10. Today it became $15. Why does this happen? Is because, very simple, the value of the dollar or the currency that you are using drops. Why this happen? You know, always ask question why. It's because the money is printed, right? There is a printing. When the government is in debt, they print money to pay the bills inside the country, right? For the people. And then the value of this currency drops because it is just printed. Government anytime they can print when they need it. And when the value of the currency drops, there are too much money, people are get paid a lot, but the product is scarce still, right? There are 10 kilo rice in the market and it's still 10 kilo. You had yesterday $20, today you had $30. There are more buyers. There's a competition, but the actual goods is constant. The price goes up because the value of the currency drops. That is inflation. Now, how does that impact gold pricing? Let's look at here. Before we look at, we see the market is in a very important key resistance line. That's what I'm waiting for, a potential entry. Later 30 minutes, we see that there is a bounce back to the upside with one single move. We might see the market now to potentially cross this level. If we enter a trade on the 30 minutes time frame, let's see if this is something we can look into. This one here, 30 minutes ATR. Let's look at the ATR here for a potential stop loss. And then we'll go back to the inflation, 60p ATR. That's a very, very bigger ATR here. We see there is a bounce on the lower time frame. The price on the daily almost nearly to the daily high. So there is a daily high here, which is at 3357 level. If we look at the 30 minutes, waiting for the market to potentially hit that daily resistance line. Now, with this movement here, if the price is going to hit the 3357, which is nearly there, we will be looking for sell entry in this market. With this break to the upside here, as the market from the 4-hour just has crossed this high, and that cross of this high here, it's the price is approaching the daily resistance line, and that is breaking the daily resistance, can expect a rejection back below here. Now here is the market is going to back to that level to hit that level where the price is potentially going to the resistance, to test that resistance, and then to potentially reject again back below in this market. Here is what you can see, the price is testing that level where the price is approaching that key resistance line and hitting that level, and then the price is showing that level to test that and potentially to reject back again to the support level to create a new lower low in this market. Here is the price is approaching that resistance line where we can look for a possible entry in this market. We'll be waiting for the price to hit that level and then to give us potential entry. From the 4-hour, we can see there is a bounce back to the upside, quite a few sessions high here, that the price to potentially to retest and then to return again back below in this market. The possibility to break that high is higher. So if you look at here, you can see this is a previous one single bullish candlestick around the 30 minutes, which is nearly to 280, which is the daily high. And what we can expect here, the market to become overextended to the upside here with this ATR. And with this overextension to the upside, we can expect the market to revert back again to the support level. Here's the market is showing back where you can see the price is approaching the daily resistance line. And with this daily resistance, the price is hitting that level expecting it to return back again. From the weekly here, we can see from the monthly also the market is showing possible a rejection here. So from the 4 hour that we can see from this level, there is a rejection back to the upside. The price hit the daily high, and so you see the price has reached that level where there's a one single move back to the upside on the daily level. Here the market is showing that pattern in that area, and now because there is a breakout here, let's delete all those lines here from the daily, that you can see there is a daily support. The price didn't test that low, instead we have seen that bounce, and that might lead further back to the upside or breaking below. That's what we will be looking here in this market to see if any entry is giving us from that level. Here's the 1 hour price action where the market has crossed that high, and with this cross of this high, there's a 10 and 20 EMA retest here, and with this 10 and 20 EMA retest, that the price has tested that and potentially rejecting back below again. There's the market, we can see the price has tested this high, and from the daily, as the price has reached the daily resistance line, we can expect it for the price to potentially return back again to the support level. We might see another potential rejection back to the upside here. Would like to see the price has managed to break from that level. There is a breakout to the daily resistance, and here to look for possible sell entry, we would like to wait for the market to show its hand. From the 30 minutes, we can see the price has tested this important resistance line, and after break of this important resistance, what we could see the price to possibly to come back again to this daily low, and that's where we will be looking into sell entry. But from the 1 minute we can see it's still maintaining bullish market structure here, and if the price managed to break that low here, we will be selling this fair value gap on the lower time frame. And here the possible sell entry we can place as a pending order here if the market breaks below after this 15 minutes closed already. After this there is a coming up also 1 hour candle close, and if the 1 hour candle close here with a long rejection, which already we see there is a bounce back to the upside, expecting the market to possibly either to reject back again or bounce back up further. From the 4 hour, it may try to bounce on the daily as the price already tested the high. So there are two-way price action possible in this market, either to continue to rise to this level or return back. Now, depending on what kind of price action it is forming, that's where we will be looking into the trade, because the market on the daily high, and there was a previous day, there was a massive breakdown on the daily, we can expect this market to come back here to this support level. There's the level that you can see the market has made its move back to the upside here, and there's a crossover at 10 and 20 EMA. Question is, if the market is from the weekly, we see there is a rejection from this weekly low, possible for a bigger move back to the upside, where the daily level also showing that the market is at daily resistance line. As CPI coming, gold definitely gonna be very volatile here, and waiting for the market to show its hand in this market to see how the market structure is being forming over the long term in this market. So here is the 1 hour price action that you can see, and where there is a bounce here in that area. And from the 4 hour here that you can see the price is approaching that level. From the 1 hour also showing that pattern. From the 15 minutes we can see the market is where there is a bounce here in that market. So looking at the 5-minute chart that you can see from this level, expecting the market to potentially either to revert back again to the upside or come back to this test, this neckline. And there's a 1 minute doji formation. There's a 37 pip in that area that you can see, and we'll be placing a sell stop here if the market breaks below, because it's a long-term downtrend that you have seen. If the price breaks below with the 30 minutes close, we will be looking for entry on the lower time frame. So we will be placing a sell stop here below this swing low here. If the market cross that low, we will be into the trade and targeting to this order block in that move. So it will be targeting 221. Here is the sell stop on Xauusd, placing until we see the market structure changes. Sell stop at 3353.39, stop loss at 3357.43, and TP target at 3345.03. And that's the sell stop that on Xauusd, placing it here for a potential move. Place the sell stop here on Xauusd, expecting the market to give us possible entry here in this market. So sell stop placed at this level, expecting the market to break below and then to give us possible some peep gain. If the price break this low here, we are on the trade. Now, the reason behind the trade, as I mentioned earlier, the price is on the daily resistance, expecting the price to revert back again to the daily support level and then to continue to trend back below. Anything can happen. We are still not on the trade. Place the pending order. If the price break the low, we are on the trade, expecting it to return again to the direction. Waiting for a break below here on Xauusd from the lower time frame here, and we are on the trade. The trade is triggered, expecting to return again to the major direction of the trend. So the trade is triggered on gold, and from the 5 minutes here that you can see the price is on the on this area. So this is the 1 minute price action where we have broken the price has broken the support level here, and looking at the 15 minutes and the lower time frame where this is sharply falling market from the bigger picture, and wanting to see the market to possibly continue to trend here in that direction to create a new lower low. Our stop loss here, not a very large, it's a very tight stop loss. Put only 39 pip stop loss, so that we can take the profit whenever needed in the fastest time possible. We are running in some profit here, and there's a fair value gap, expecting the market to come back here to fill that fair value gap and then to continue certain direction here to this level. Running in profit at the moment, and would like to see that it's giving that profit hit. So if you look at the 1 hour, you can see it's a sharp long wick candle, and which is pretty sharp drop that we have seen. There's a rejection here from this breakup structure, and expecting a trend continuation. If we look at the 15 minutes price action here on gold, we can see that there was a 15 minutes move where the price has shown a significant directional bias. Now from the 5 minutes that you can see, it has created a long wick candle, expecting it to break that low here and then to possibly to retest this neckline of this order block, the previous order block where there is a fair value gap. Here's market structure on the 5 minutes. So there is a breakup structure here on the 1 minute, and is this wants to trend back up here or wants to break below? We'll be looking to see how the market structure is evolving here from the 1 hour. That you can see there is a bounce back to the upside, cross that high. From the 4 hour also there is a doji. It may, look at the 1 minute here again. So with this inverted head and shoulder, there's a rejection from the top, and so this 5 minutes candle that you can see is where there is a liquidity gap, and if you look at if the market is with this liquidity gap is potentially coming back here below to this level. there is significant if we look at the 5 minutes here, so there is a potential rejection, expecting it to move back to the direction here. And now if this move is not being able to successful, we can expect it to trend back down here to the order block. Holding on to that trade to see how far it's possible to potentially come here to break that low. From the 50 minutes there is a doji, which is the 50 minutes doji after this move, and that move here was a clean break to the upside. Now we are just below our entry, expecting it to continue to trend back down here to this order block in this market. And now if this move upside is a fail move, then that could be that the market to continue to drop to the major support level here. So you see there is a 1 hour and 30 minutes close at the same time. The 1 hour candle close here with a long wick. If you look at here, you can see this 1 hour candle has crossed that major level, and we can expect it to come down for a deeper pullback, or even possibly come back below here to this support level, as the market has moved to that important resistance line. From the 5 minutes that we can see, the price started to move back down here. From the 1 minute also you can see there is a doji formation, expecting that the market to potentially break the low here to this support level. Cool. We see some downside momentum, and if the market fail here, and that rejection could lead the price back to this order block here, where there is a fair value gap. So I'm waiting to see the market to return to the support level. And 15 minutes has pretty narrow doji formation here in this market, and the trend here is long term. If you look at the daily, we saw that there is a daily drop. The trade has opened, currently running in and wanting to see that it's been able to break that low here for a potential drop, and to create a new lower low in this market to break that low, break the support. And if the market managed to break that low, break the support here, there is a big fair value gap. So this low here, this fair value gap is almost to 31 pip, 32 pip fair value gap, and that fair value gap that we can see the market to cross that low and then to reject back below to this support level. Looking at also the 1 minute, here is the consolidation pattern, expecting it to come back here to that level to create a new lower low. We see the potential trend continuation back below here. So we are on the trade and running in, expecting it to break that low here and to come back here to this support level. Running in profit at the moment. So it's just around 21 pip from the entry. So the entry here is 53.39. Expecting it to break the low here. You guys with me? So the 5 minutes candle that you can see is forming a possible bearish continuation in this lower time frame, and would like to see that it's breaking that low, possibly come back here to that support level, to this order block, before we take any profit or modify the trade if needed. At the moment it's on that downtrending move. To the 15 minutes also, the price is breaking that low, possibly coming back here to that support level. It just has crossed that low here, and would like to see that it managed to break that low here. Five minutes perspective, here we can see there is a 5 minutes candle formation, which is basically this 5 minutes candle. Would like to see that it's breaking below here. Now if it is breaking to the upside, there is still probability that the market to go back up, but I think the possibility for dropping down is higher as you are on the trade. Because of that reason, the market has got the rejection from the daily high, and when the market is getting the rejection from the daily high, expecting to drop to the pullback to this order block. Now if the price is going to 3348, we are almost up to 42 pip in that trade. Okay, so it's a genuine pip, it's a genuine trade, real trade. Let's wait for the market to show up that pattern here. In the 1 minute chart, there is a liquidity doji. This 1 minute has grabbed liquidity here, expecting it to break that low. Any direction it could move, but we can see that the possibility for breaking that support is higher, and there's a fair value. This is a pure fair value gap, at least to this level, to 3348.90. So once the market managed to break low here, based on the price action, either we will be running the trade or we will be taking the running profit. That's our main aim here, is to make sure that we are managing the trade properly and accordingly. This is the 5 minute chart here. We see that the bull's not getting enough fuel in that area here. So would like to see that it's breaking the low and then coming back below here to the direction of the major trend. Here's the move that you can see on the 1 minute, back to narrow doji. Would like to hold that trade here so that we can take that trade where you want to take, at least to the certain level, so that we can have enough confirmation for closing the profit or modifying the trade accordingly. Just getting the rejection back here. From the 5 minutes, there is a retest of the 20 EMA, and this is where you can see there is a doji on the 1 minute trying to get back here to the upside, and might try to retest the high, as there is a 10 EMA retest on the 30 minutes. Also there's a 10 EMA retest on the 15 minutes. There's a crossover of this candlestick. Okay, so it's trying to break below again, and this time with another drop passing that low, we'll be exiting the trade with the running profit. First let it drop back below here, as the market may try to rebut again here from this bull flag. There's a 1 hour 10 EMA retest that you can see, and because of that the price is trying to push again back to the upside here in that area. it's the same level where there are quite a few sessions EMS pushing that price here back. Scalpers are taking that buy here, but I think as it's reached that order block, the market would try to take that high here, and if this market now coming back here, we could see that to fill that zone and then to continue to return back again. So this is this move that you can see, it's a 10 EMA. Buyers, scalpers bought from the 10 EMA, and that move has given a momentum little bit to the upside. From the 5 minutes that you can see, the price is from this support level a move back to the upside here. That price action that you can see on this lower time frame, from the lower time frame here, the price now after this pullback expecting it to come back here again to the support level. Now if this price is continuing to drop, expecting to break again 3351 level, and that move could lead the price potentially back below. Here's the move that you can see, the price is trying to push back below here from the 1 minute, wanting to see the market is coming to this support level. The price had a massive drop here. I'm ready to take any action that if needed. We see there is a breakdown as we discussed, and that breakdown from the 5 minutes, would like to see crossing that low here, and as soon as it's gonna cross that low with this 1 minute move that you can see, expecting for the market to continue to trend back down here to this support level. Is the market pushing that possibly break below from this 5 minutes price action, and would like to see that it's managed to break that low here to create a new lower low. Right, so we can see another narrow dodgy formation on the 1 minute chart, expecting the market to break that low here for another possible trend down. Right, cool. It's getting that rejection as expected. Now that rejection is needed to see that the market managed to break that low here and getting again back to the upside. Now this 5 minutes candle would like to see that giving us a possibility for further bearish move in this market. is the market that's showing possible trend back below to this lower time frame. Now we see that there is a candle close. For our candle, we can see that after this break of this high from the 30 minutes from the lower time frame here, this is 15 minutes price action as well, and cool. From the 5 minutes, now we are in a zone where the price waiting for that break below. Thanks for joining guys live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up, and here we are waiting for a possible hit to the downside for catching some peep in the first session of this live, and this is structure expecting it to break below here, as the previous 5 minutes candle has grabbed the liquidity. That liquidity grab on the 15 minutes as well, a bearish candle with a long wick at the bottom. Here is if the price is breaking that low here, there will be a weak fill possibility, and that's where we can take a good profit from this level here below this support level, and that is where you can see there is a head and shoulder, and with this head and shoulder expecting the market to trend back down here. Where is the 5 minutes chart? Here's the 1 minute, and that's a head and shoulder, but we want to see that the market is managed to break below here, and from this 15 minutes chart would like to see to break that low. Possible trend continuation is higher here in this market, and cool. Let's wait for the price to cross that low. I'm on the trade, still running in some profit here, and the move is a little slow here, but it's still maintaining the downtrend, and yeah, that's what we need to see, that cracking that down below this level, and that's what we need to look for potential securing the profit here from the 5 minutes. Again, it's trying to push back again in this move, and there's a 5 minutes close coming. Now this candle close on the 5 minutes is significant, as with this candle close would like to see the price to cross that low here again, back below to this level, and cool. From the 1 minute, we can see that from this head and shoulders trying to break that low below here. So we want to see that the market is eventually breaking that low, and at least to coming back to this 3351 level for us to give us a possible decent amount of peep to take that out of the market. And here's the 10 and 20 MA retest. Five minutes close with a long wick middleman in that area, and this is the 1 minute again. Come on, getting that back again to the upside. Candle close on the 1 minute with another liquidity grab. All right, cool. Getting that rejection. Now we might be very nearing to close profit. I will be giving you shout out when I am taking the profit in this market. Still I'm running in. Would like to see that I'm also running with the premium members. I have shared in the trade in the premium group. Here you'd like to see that enough move before you take the profit. Here the market is currently trying to move in a side with a downtrending move, and it's running in profit. You'd like to take that successfully, close the trade when it is coming well below this level where we can take this trade in the market. And here is there's a little bit of up and down struggle from the buyers and sellers. That the trade from the 1 minute, we can see another bearish candle formation with a liquidity grab. That market expecting it to break below here, and with that break expecting the price to continue to drop to create a new lower low in this market. So that's where you can see the price to potentially trend down, and I'm on the trade waiting for the price to show up to create a new lower low to this support level. Holding on to that. Here's the market. It's dropped back below, and I am running is quite a few peep profit on that, and I am currently running in profit. I am taking that profit right now. It's in a very good area to take profit. I have closed the trade currently with this move here on gold. Catch that 32 peep. I think you guys has got bigger one. Now what is the reason behind it? That's what I was talking about, guys. It's not about one trade that you are winning with me or taking profit, but more of understanding the strategy and then learning the trade based on proper strategy. Have you guys taken the trade? Give a feedback. Now what is the reason behind the trade? This is one of my best strategy that I use. As I mentioned earlier, you need to wait for the market to show up in a very important area of value. That is where the key is. Make sure that you always take the bigger profit target and then buy or sell from an important area of value. That is where the key to find better trading opportunity. Can you say yes if you have taken or running the trade in the live chat? And more trade updates, education, analysis available every single day. I'm sharing in the Telegram. You guys can join the Telegram, where also more often there will be a promotion to join the premium group, where also you can access all my trade as well as analysis that I'm posting. Here is the link for the Telegram. You can join there, stay connected to see how I'm trading and also how you can learn the best strategy that I'm trading every day. This is not all about, there is another live coming up in just matter of 2.5 hours. We'll be trading CPI, guys. This is gonna be exciting. Make sure you don't miss out the CPI trading together from this live session in the upcoming in just 2.5 an hour. Until that, stay well, stay happy. I'll see you there again, trading live together.